Erickson had his gravelly voice and he'd sit on the wheelchair and tell people to go into a trance. Well, listen, you don't have to talk like that. And you don't have to go, well, and you're going deeper into trance. And you can sleep even more deeper. You don't have to sound freaking weird.
You shouldn't sound like a psychotic clown.
Oh, man.
Are you going deeper into trance? No.
How do you stop a clown from laughing?
Hit him in the face with an axe.
Now, listen, we don't recommend the abuse of any clowns.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
We don't recommend the abuse of anyone, and we don't recommend using axes on clowns. It was just a joke.
We only recommend joking about axes.
Except frottage clowns, and they should be dealt with. Now, listen.
The voice. All right.
Yes.
So you don't want your hypnotic voice should be different than your waking world normal conversational voice, but it shouldn't be freaking weird. It should be context appropriate.
Right. Now, here's an interesting point. We're running one of our groups right now, one of our mastermind groups, and having the bi-weekly meetings and so on. There are a couple of women in that group. One of them is Linda. You'll know who I mean. I've known her for a few years now. She's an excellent
She's
hypnotist.
a really wonderful hypnotic voice.
She's got a hypnotic voice. She's a freaking hypnotic rock star. And I listen to her. I feel like I'm getting a massage.
It's soothing.
It's just amazing.
And that's a great way to describe a hypnotic voice. Should sound like your regular voice, but maybe described as more soothing, a little bit more calm, a little bit more congruent.
But in any case, it needs to be
soothing.
demarked separately from your day-to-day voice, because then when you're counting them out of trance, remember, count down into trance, count up to bring them out so you are consistent. Don't say, I count them 3 to 0, you're deep trance, 3 to 1, 0, deep trance, okay. In a moment, I'm going to count you down 3 to 0, and you're going to wake up, and they're going, what? And we know they're not asleep. Your voice should be different from your waking voice. So when you bring the person out of it, you're switching from your hypnotic voice back to the surface and wide awake now.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a more powerful effect.
So I would say, to describe the voice, we're talking a calm voice, and it's probably a little bit slower.
Would you really say that, Chris?
Or is it
are you claiming that you say that?
I thought you were going to say, is the other line. I'm just claiming to say it. I'm not actually saying it.
I can't remember the other line, but I know it was something horribly obscene.
Oh, no, the other one is just, did you really say that? Or no, do you really feel that way? Or is it just the booze talking? That's a wonderful line that I learned from you.
Man,
it's not for when somebody says something. It's when they claim to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Do you really feel that way?
Or is it just the booze talking?
It's a great line.
Now,
and you slow it down. You're using a hypnotic voice when you deliver the joke. Look at that. Right. So use a voice, practice the voice.
That is appropriate.
We do see some of our students, and they forget about this until they remember, because we tell them over and over, make your voice different. So your hypnotic voice should sound somehow different than your normal waking voice.
Yes. So that way you can demark your trances. Your trances should be deep and robust. Your waking state should be clean and wide awake.
It can be called conversational hypnosis, but it shouldn't sound like your ordinary conversational voice.
Going deeper. You're starting to relax.
All right.
This moronic idea from the 40s and 50s that you need to talk in a boring voice, repeat things 3 times or
my voice is very staccato when you're going into a trance. You're bored. You're very bored.
Okay, you know what?